Welcome to Cryptid Robot. My name is Andrew J. Robinson. This is my channel, and today we are going to try something newish. So what I'm about to do is try and take 1 hour to write out my ideas for a movie pitch. Logan in the Avengers. And we're going. Obviously, this video will have spoilers for Logan as well as the Avengers. Alright, so first let's address the tone. Logan is a dark movie. It is depressing. Characters curse a lot, like big F-bomb level cursing and stuff. The Avengers movies don't do that. There's still some cussing, but it's not like rated R, grr, let me chop everybody's head off and cuss them out. I'm going to say the tone would be something like Days of Future Past, where you've got very serious themes that are happening, characters die, but you do still have some levity. I think that's a really good balance anyway. That seriousness with some not seriousness thrown in to make you not hate every second of your life. The big question that I had going into it is, how would you even combine them at all? I'm going to go with Charles for that. Professor Charles Xavier is the strongest mind known on the planet, aside from maybe Jean Grey, but we don't know her status in Logan. Probably dead, because everybody is pretty much probably dead. So let's give Charles a little more power here. He's died before already in the movies. Back in X-Men 3, he was killed by Jean Grey, and his mind... they don't really super explain it, but his mind, between when the movie ends and the after the credits scene, his mind has jumped from one body to another, and he is using that one once Days of Future Past comes along, and so we know that he is capable of escaping his body during death. I'm going to say that when he dies in Logan, his psychic energy shoots out across the dimensions, and it is picked up over in the Marvel Cinematic Universe dimension by Doctor Strange. After Doctor Strange ends, we learn that he has paired up with Thor. And now that I think about that, that kind of throws off my movie ideas just a little. Alright, so what we'll do is we will just say that this movie takes place right after Doctor Strange, but right before Captain America Civil War. Whatever, guys. Look, I did this in an hour. It's fine. So Doctor Strange gets the psychic energy that Xavier had sent out, and he just is filled with visions of the death of all the mutants and the destruction that this Earth is facing, the mutant Earth, and how horrible it is. Doctor Strange and Thor decide that they are going to help. They are superheroes, and Doctor Strange has the ability to travel between places, presumably also between worlds, because we got that thing in the movie where he was going and there was all the faces and the hands coming out of the hands. You know, when he did that thing where he was going between dimensions? He'll just do that. He'll go from Marvel Cinematic Universe over to the X-Men universe. He takes at least Thor, and it's a little weird because he doesn't know any of the others yet. Whatever, he takes a handful of the heroes. At the very least, Captain America comes along because I think he's slightly important to this plot. Iron Man should come along because he's Iron Man, and it's going to be hard to sell this movie without him. When they arrive at Mutant Earth, it's worse than it was at the end of Logan. When Logan ended, yeah, all the mutants were dead, but it was basically an okay planet. Now that all the mutants are gone, phase 2 of the evil people's evil plan has now come into motion, and the planet is ruled by Hydra. What? Hydra? How does that exist? Remember in Captain America, the First Avenger, the Red Skull was killed at the end of that one. But he wasn't like killed all normal like. He was killed by the Tesseract, I think, in that one. And he went all weird and spacey and kind of disintegrated and kind of fell into space. I'm going to say he wasn't killed there. I'm going to say he was actually transported to another dimension by magic, basically, and he landed in the X-Men universe. And he was actually in the shadows over the course of that entire timeline. So the Red Skull's plan here was to kill all the mutants, and he hired the guys who did it in the other one and promoted their ideals and whatever. They had their own reasons to want to take the mutants out, and so he just fed into that and promoted it and established Hydra behind the scenes. And now that everybody's dead, from the people that he had hired to the mutants, he can now take charge. He has developed the super duper serum. He was supposed to be like Captain America and a super soldier. And now that serum has been perfected, so this planet is ruled by an army of the equivalent of Captain America super soldiers that are very, very strong. The evil guys are on their way to destroy Eden. At the end of Logan, Eden was the place where Laura, which was the little girl clone of Logan, that's where she and all the other mutant children were sent to. So they're really the only surviving outpost that we know of mutants, and they're in trouble. So they are being attacked by these Hydra forces who are trying to kill all these kids. That's when the Avengers show up, and they manage to save the kids. I'm going to say that Laura pops up and actually saves one of them with her shiny claws that she's got, kills some bad guys while she's at it. And so they protect the forces there, the kids there, long enough to know that everything is at least temporarily okay. And they want to know what happened here. How is this world ruled by these evil dudes? What's going on? Laura decides to be their spokesperson. And she says that the only person who could help them, the only one who would be able to reveal the truth of what happened and to even fix it, is dead. Doctor Strange is still pretty new to his powers and stuff. He promises, though, that he's going to be able to make this right. And so he asks where this guy is buried. So she leads them out to the graveside, back in the woods, where she and her friends had buried Logan. Doctor Strange has some feelings about raising the dead. It doesn't seem like a very good idea. And probably some of the other Avengers are like, hey, this isn't right. Probably Captain America would really be like, this isn't right. This guy's dead. You should leave him dead. Ooh, and then Tony could be like, oh yeah, well, you should have been dead when you were in the ice, buddy. But you're not, so deal with it. While they're having this debate about whether or not it would be right for Doctor Strange to reverse time on Logan, they realize Logan's not dead either. He's still got some living tissue. He's dead, like he's basically dead, but there's still some living tissue on his body because that's kind of how his regenerative properties work anyway. They dig him on up. Doctor Strange does some actual doctoring and discovers the poison inside of Logan's system, removes it. Logan wakes up later, and he is mad. He is not happy about being brought back to life. For one thing, he was ready to die back in Logan. He had considered killing himself several times, and he was actually kind of glad to go down the way that he did. He got to save some kids and go out finally. The other thing that he's mad about is how the girl, Laura, had told them that he was the one who would know, what went down and all this stuff. He doesn't know anything about this. Laura legit just totally lied to them so that she could have her daddy back. And the other big reason that Logan is really angry about being brought back to life is he knows that it's not going to help anything. He has already screwed with the natural order of time before, and it didn't fix anything. In the original future of Days of Future Past, the mutants had all been hunted down and were being rounded up and killed by the Sentinels. He went back in time and fixed it, only to get back to a new future where after a few more years, the mutants are all dead, this time being peacefully killed by the stuff that was placed in their soft drinks. Granted, some of them were actually straight up murdered, but a lot of them were just genetically modified to not be mutants anymore. And so either way, he just went from one future without mutants, tried to fix it, and went to another future without mutants, where all of his friends are still dead again. But Doctor Strange, and then a part of the movie goes by, stuff happens, I don't know, Hydra shows up and shoots and stuff and whatever. I don't even know if they know that the Red Skull is in charge yet, but eventually they find out that he is, and then that's when they're able to kind of talk Wolverine into making some new decisions here. This new future he's at, it's not the original future. It's not the way that it's supposed to be, and it's not the fixed future either. This is a future modified by the Marvel Cinematic Universe with this Red Skull who came in and screwed it all up. If they can go back in time again, take the Red Skull out, then the future that Logan had tried to restore could actually be restored. The only issue is getting that far back in time. Doctor Strange, so far in the movies, we've only seen him rewind time loops for a very small period. He's just done a few seconds at a time or so. So I'm going to throw out the restriction and say he can't time travel back 4, 5, 6, a whole bunch of years to World War II when the Red Skull landed. Instead, they need Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde is the one who had sent Logan back in time in Days of Future Past, so we need her. The only issue is going to be finding her in this current future because Logan has not seen her in years. We'll say she was not one of the X-Men who died in the big Westchester incident that killed everybody. She's somewhere. So they got to find her. And that's a lot of the movie, is trying to locate this girl. Maybe they even get some help from Magneto, because maybe he's not dead yet. Possibly he's just an old man who still has his powers and has been kind of on the run. Could be anything. Eventually, they're able to find Kitty Pryde. Logan is saying that he's the only one who can be sent back because of his mind powers being able to regenerate. Cap disagrees. He is a super strong fella from that serum, so he's pretty sure his body could handle it, especially since he's already made it through however many years from World War II when he was frozen until modern times, so he's pretty sure he can handle that journey too. Kitty Pryde, I'm sure they have to go through something to give her the ability to send people back in time again. Like, she's got to go through some training or whatever, probably, because I doubt she knows that she can even do that. That's her mutant ability. But either way, they managed to send them back. Logan and Captain America go together back to World War II. And this is a really fun thing, I think, because Logan fought through World War II, and so did Cap. So it's neat to put them both back there. And maybe we also take Laura back. I don't think it would be responsible to send back a little girl, but the thing is, if he fixes the timeline like he wants to, then Laura dies. She wouldn't exist anymore because she's a clone of Wolverine. So we'll have them fight some Nazis. We'll have them fight some old-timey Hydra folks as well. We do eventually catch up to Red Skull, and they win, and they kill him. And before they release the time continuum, whatever thing that's keeping all of this together that Kitty Pryde is doing, we actually have Logan make one more decision about how to fix these futures. He actually goes to the prison camp where young Eric Lyncher is being held. Actually, he finds him just as his mom is being captured by that evil dude. What was the bad guy from Days of Future Past? Kevin Bacon. It wasn't Kevin Bacon's character, that guy, where he's taking the parents. We don't let him do it. Logan actually goes in, kicks some butt, and saves Eric and sends him on his way. Frees that whole prison camp so that Eric never experiences those terrible things that caused him to become Magneto later. Then we release the time thing. The Avengers go back home, and we're still in Avengers land with whatever is going on at the time. I guess they're fighting Thanos, or they're about to. Thanos? So they all go back. Logan and Lara wake up in the super future, and it's a happy super future now, this time. Lara will have grown up by this point, of course, because she would have aged into adulthood. Charles is back because nobody killed him, and the X-Men are back. And you know what? Magneto is a member of the X-Men because freaking crap. I'm so tired of seeing Magneto in these movies have to be bad, even though he clearly doesn't always want to be bad. It's okay, just for one time, to make him good. Apocalypse almost made him good. No. Days of Future Past gave him reasons to be good in the thing, and then Apocalypse was like, oh yeah, we can't make him good, let's make him bad, and just made him bad again. Dang it, guys, I'm done. So, what I did here with this is overwrote the entire X-Men franchise so that none of them happened at all. I guess it's all happened for Wolverine, though. It's all mentally occurred for him. The whole X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men 3, The Wolverine, X-Men Days of Future Past, that one scene in First Class, and then Apocalypse, and Logan, and now this movie. They have all occurred for this guy, and he has been through some crap. And that's what I did not like about Logan, is that it totally undid the good that Wolverine had finally done. Days of Future Past really had a perfect ending, and I kind of wish the whole series had just ended right there. But it didn't, so I fixed it, I think. If you think I fixed it, let me know in the comments. If you think I did a stupid thing and that Logan is already a perfect film, okay, let me know that in the comments too. Please subscribe to Cryptid Robot. We will be doing some other fiction-y based things as we go along. Still working out kind of everything that this channel is going to be and what it's going to do. I really did kind of enjoy this one. It's a little rough to write a movie in an hour, but it's a lot of fun and a good challenge, so I might do that again next time. We'll see. I'll also be doing other stuff about my book, Lucas Knight and the Reaper of Chaos, and about writing fiction in general, so keep an eye out for that. As always, stay adventuresome out there.